I think education is like not as bad as most of the Tate fan, not like most of the me as a Tate fan thought once in a time. And not just Tate fan, Elon Musk fan, and like basically a practical guy who like learns practical things. We mostly like question and like say that education system is like this bad and this corrupt, like fully shit, utter shit. But like after like going through a good amount of things, like I feel like these are not like that much shit as much as like we thought about, I thought about. uh, Basically like we will actually like need these things, and when we are like doing other things, or like these things are like actually good for changing the perspective of the world. For example, like when I get to understand, I'm talking about chemistry this time right now because like my chemistry exam is like coming, and I've like mainly studied the things for chemistry. So that's why like I'm just talking about chemistry. So like after actually understanding the more what is that called, moles and like molecules and atoms and all the things, like after being able to feel those things, the world around me have changed, like my view of the world and like perspective and like everything that I thought. Like right now I can see all the molecules. I can, when I see this phone, I don't just see this phone, I literally see how the building blocks of it are made and how they react and uh how they're built, how can we manipulate those things, and how can I like build different kind of things using this mobile, literally. So like it's fascinating how people make literally different kinds of things just using chemistry. Like uh for example, like I've watched an experiment video of a guy making uh candy out of the plastic cups that we have, like literally eatable candy out of the plastic cups with using the knowledge of chemistry. So like your worldview change, and when your worldview change, you get to do a lot more things that you never ever even thought about, never even thought that it is possible. So uh, yeah, education is like not as much shit as I thought, but all of these things are actually coming after like a lot of work, a lot of going back and forth. Education as the normal education, as the what is that called, the things that like fully academically, like yeah, the syllabus wise, these things are like still, have to say that these things are utter shit. Like I have always actually from my class 9, like in class 9 we had the chemistry, and like our main subjects are like divided in Bangladesh. Like it's like purely different in different countries and different places. And I think like Bangladeshi education system, and particularly our one, is the like most shittiest. Because like okay, no, we have some other curriculums also which are like even more shittier than our one. Like the madrasa curriculum is like fully kind of fucked up. So yeah, basically what I was saying, that I have always actually like thought about how the uh, things are working. Like when I was in class 9 and I got introduced to the books. And by the way, like I should also say that after like watching a good amount of like science videos and like experimental things, and getting to basically, I actually fall in love with science in my class 8 and my class 7 time. Like that was the quarantine time. Like I was home all day, and like I was going through this science stuff, sci-fi stuff and these things. And that time like I fall in love with science. And I was like, if I don't study science, I'm not gonna study anymore. And I like there is no point of studying if I cannot study science. And actually, I didn't got science from my school that I was in. And like they only like for like 3 to 4 marks or something like that. They didn't. They are saying that like I'm not eligible for science. Their science seats are full up, and like they won't. And like in my family, I was like, if I'm not going to study science, I'm not going to study at all. Fuck studying. So like, yeah, then we changed school, and then I got to another school, and then I started science, and like after I started studying those science, the academic science, I understood that like the whole love that was there for me, like it's completely shattered. I didn't expected the academic things to be this bad. Like I was hoping that yeah, that might be bad. Yeah, I might like not be able to do experiments like the foreign people do, but like I will still like get to know certain information about science that I might be able to use later, right? But that didn't really happen. This science was like really bad and really badly taught. Their like main goal to teach science was not to actually teach science, was like always like I don't get it, like okay, not that I don't get it, I get it. Like all of the people in my country, most of the, okay, let's not say all, that might be a lie, but yeah, most of the like 90% of the people of my country, like they are like so much obsessed about the scores, the results, the marks, like they don't get to think about anything else. They're just fully obsessed with those things, and like whatever they do, whatever they study, whatever is like in front of them, they don't think about learning that thing, understanding that thing. They mainly think about what will be the best way that I can like get the marks, get the most amount of marks. So like that's why they teach in a way that you only memorize the things that are like important for the questions, and questions are like actually not reflect how much you understand the subject or not. Question, if you know SATs or like any standardized question patterns, like you know that like you can just pass those things by memorizing those certain questions that come up again and again, memorizing certain types of questions, certain patterns of questions. So like yeah, you can basically get past without even understanding the thing that much properly. And yeah, basically when your main goal is to mainly get marks, then you don't really focus on the main thing, which is understanding, and which is building new things from that understanding. When your focus is just to get the marks, you completely like forget those things, and like those things go to subconscious mind. And actually like after that, like I've also asked teachers, for example, like let me give an example how they teach. For example, like I have actually like asked them about atoms and like how it is actually working, how can I visualize it, or how can I imagine it. They like give only raw data, but they don't, yeah, basically they don't give the information so that I can be able to imagine that thing. And I don't know, like most of, probably like even many teachers don't understand that thing properly. And I can understand why it's going the way it's going, because like even the teachers are like gone through our system, and they were totally fully focusing on the marks so that they can get their jobs. And yeah, basically so that they can get their jobs, and that is how they also treat us, that is how also they teach us. Like it's really rare, it's once in a while that we get a teacher who is actually like into making us understand the points, into making us actually understand what the lecture is about. But like most of them are just trying to uh, make us get the marks. And actually the teaching system is also like the more one teacher's class gets marks, the more the teacher is good. Like people say, the more teacher is good. It's not based upon how much you can understand or how much you can be able to feel the science, but it's mainly about how much marks you get. So yeah, this is the main problem. And basically yeah, I kind of understand them. And also like they also say that you will be able to understand and like feel these things when you go to uni or you go for higher education when you do PhD, something like that. Then you will be able to understand the molecules and uh, the atoms. Then you will be able to feel those things. Like, I actually like completely disagree with this. This like total bullshit, and I have like actually gone through these sci-fi things like sci-fi TV shows, movies, and comics, books, etc. things. After going through those and like also seeing many types of experiments in online, which like there is like literally many of our like classmates, they don't even know how to like understand the English videos. They like many of them just try to uh, like this is so much ironically funny that like even in this time in 2026 they're like afraid of English. They are afraid of they don't understand why they see English videos. They don't understand what they're telling there, and they don't even want to understand. Like this is really funny. Even in this time there are people like that. So, and also like translation is getting better slowly, so I guess like better content will be available in all the languages, but it's ironically really funny that they don't want to go to the English. So yeah, basically since they are not comfortable in the English, they miss out all the experiment videos, all the lectures that are like published on YouTube for free. Not YouTube, also like in many other places, also many other websites, many other science journals and things. So like they all miss out on those things. And yeah, basically after going through all of those things, I was like, uh, this thing shouldn't be so much bad. And after like a really long time, I regret not trying out Khan Academy before. I've actually like tried out, but not like this seriously. I've taken their middle school classes seriously and then like finished all the chemistry classes there. And like after finishing those, I understand more chemistry than what I understand by finishing my college books. Can you understand? Like, can you imagine middle school classes, which is like class 7 and 8, class 7 and 8 classes? After finishing those, I understand more than my 12th classes. Like literally, that is like mind blowing. Like their main Khan Academy's main focus is like they try to make you understand the topic. They try to make you feel the topic. But like our ones, this is actually the difference of mark based thing and the feel based thing, understanding based thing. So yeah, literally after finishing those classes, I can now feel all the chemistry around me. And actually, like when you study science like this, it is not like any burden. Like you don't have to just complete lectures. You're not. It's like not fun. The studying becomes fun. You get to know more things. You get to understand more things. You get to explore more things, and that is how actually I completed all of those classes. Like no one forced me to go through those middle school classes from Khan Academy. I actually enjoyed it. I wanted to learn and understand more about those things. That is why I've gone through those. So like it became fun for me, and this is probably what it feels like when you're like not studying to memorize. You're like studying to understand what the people that came before us made, what they understood, what science they uncovered, and after that you can like build new things with that knowledge. So like yeah, this is like yeah, so academics, I don't know what to conclude this video with. So basically academics is like not as shit as I thought, and mainly like our curriculum Our curriculum is like one of the shittiest. Like even the British curriculum is like, I don't know too much about it, but like I know as much as that like they get to choose their subjects, and like they even get to like choose many different subtopics, and like keeping one as a main topic and like having other subtopics. Like they have choices, but like in our curriculum we don't even have that much choices. We only get to choose science, commerce, or arts in our class 9, and like after that we don't really, more than that we don't really get to choose anything. We are just like fed and like memorizing the information that we are told to memorize. So yeah, that were just my thoughts on after like getting to understand and feel the chemistry around me.